Good morning, students. In the previous class, we studied about the atmosphere. Today our topic is weather and climate. So first we have two terms, that is weather and climate. Now the very first question that comes in my mind is, what is weather? Weather is the state of atmosphere at a specific time at any one particular place. So we have two important points here. One, at a specific time, and second, at a particular place. We are not talking about a large area, we are only talking about a small area, and we are not talking about a period of time. Here we are talking about a particular point of time. So when we talk about weather, we will say the state of atmosphere at a specific time and at any particular place. This is weather. Second thing is, weather is a local phenomenon. It changes from day to day, even from hour to hour. Weather doesn't remain same. For example, it is sunny now. I'll say the weather is sunny. After some time, it starts raining. Then we will say that the weather is rainy. So weather changes again and again from day to day, or you can say even from hour to hour. Weather can change very fast, or it can remain same also. But what we say is that weather is a local phenomena and it changes with time. So weather is noticed always at a specific time and at any one particular place. This is about weather. Suppose I have to go to market. For that also I will see the weather. If the weather is sunny, then I will not go. If the weather is rainy, then also I will not go. If I think that the weather is suitable to go out, then I will go. So even for our basic needs, even for small things, before stepping out of our homes also, we see the weather. So basically, what is weather? It is the state of atmosphere at a specific time and at in one particular place. Right? This is weather. Next we have climate. Now what is climate? Average weather conditions over a long period of time. When we talk about a period of time, in weather, we were talking about a particular point of time. And in climate, we are talking about a period of time. When we take the weather conditions of a period of time and collective term we get an average, then we call it as climate. For example, for a particular place, we took the weather of near about 30 to 40 years and we found out that in those 40 years, generally what the case is? Generally the weather is sunny. A lot of heat is there. So we will say that that place has a hot climate. What it means? That weather is for a particular point of time, and how we decide the climate of a place? If we see that generally that place is sunny, that place is receiving much more heat, then we will say that this place has a hot climate. So what is climate? It is the average weather conditions over a long period of time. When we consider a long period of time, then we will say climate. And when we will consider only a particular point of time, then we will say weather. Climate is generally for 25 to 30 years. It may be for 40 years also. And weather is for, you can say for an hour, you can say for a particular minute. So weather is a short-term phenomena and climate is a long-term phenomena. Next we have difference between the two. Difference between climate and weather. First of all, climate is a long-term phenomena and weather is a short-term phenomena. Because climate is for 25 to 30 years or even for 40 years and weather is for short. It is a short-term phenomena, it is for a particular point of time. Then we have, it is a global phenomena. Climate is a global phenomena because here we are considering large areas. And weather, it is a local phenomena because here we are considering the shorter areas. Then we have example, climate of India, climate of Europe, etc. And here we have weather of Delhi or Chandigarh, etc. Suppose I have to go to shopping to Delhi, then obviously I will see the weather of Delhi only. So I will be looking to the smaller area. Then we are talking about weather. I hope the difference between weather and climate is clear. You just have to keep two things in mind. If you are talking about a particular time and particular place, then you will consider it as weather. And if you are considering the atmospheric conditions of a large period of time, then you will say climate, right? Next topic which we have is temperature. Now what is temperature? The By the temperature. If the temperature is more, then the tea is hot. If the temperature is less, then the tea is cold. So similarly, we have the temperature of air also. So what is the temperature of air? It is the degree of hotness and the coldness of the air. Whether the air is hot or whether the air is cold. If the temperature is more, then the air will be hot. And if the temperature is less, then the air will be cold. So what is temperature? It is the degree of hotness and coldness of air. Next we have insolation. These are some terms related to temperature only. Now what is insolation? It is the heat received by the earth. You all know that the earth receives heat from the sun. So the heat received by the earth from the sun is known as insolation and is also known as solar radiation. Solar is related to sun and radiation is related to rays. Obviously the earth is receiving heat in the form of sun rays. So the insolation is also known as solar radiation. Right? So this is about insolation. Now all the parts of the earth do not receive same amount of heat. Like you can see in this diagram, this is our sun and this is our earth. If I talk about this area will receive direct sun rays. You can see they will receive direct sun rays like this. So this area will receive more heat. And if I talk about these areas, then they will receive slanting sun rays. They will receive less heat. So different parts of the earth do not receive same type of heat. So when we study about insolation, we have different heat zones. Means we have different zones which receive different amount of sunlight. So we were talking about insolation, that is the heat received by the earth from the sun, where I told you that different areas of the earth, different parts of the earth receive different amount of sunlight. Because some part receive direct sunlight, like the equator, here the sun rays will be very much vertical. And if I talk about these poles, then the rays will be vertical. And if the rays will be vertical, there will be less heat. Right? So we have different heat zones on the basis of this. As different amount is received, different amount of heat is received, we have different heat zones. Now the heat zones are categorized into three. First we have torrid zone, second we have temperate zone, and the third one is frigid zone. Right? Now we will study about these in detail. What is torrid zone? Torrid zone is the very first zone. This is the very hot zone. Why it is very hottest zone? Because it lies near the equator. You all know that 0 degree is equator and 23.5 degree north is Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degree south is Tropic of Capricorn. This you people have studied in class 6 also. So same thing is there. And now we are discussing about the torrid zone. So from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, we have torrid zone. That means both sides of equator, torrid zone is there. This is the north torrid zone and this is the south torrid zone. Torrid zone is that zone which is very hot zone. And why it is hot zone? Because it is receiving direct sunlight, vertical sun rays. Right? So the first zone is torrid zone. It is the hottest zone. It extends from 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south. Now the second one is temperate zone. Temperate zone is that zone which is neither very hot nor very cold. Now this zone is not so hot and not so cold because although it receives sunlight, but the sun rays are slanting. Like you can see, in equator, the sun rays are coming vertical. But if I talk about this area, the sun rays are coming vertical. Now you all know 23.5 degree north is Tropic of Cancer and 66.5 degree north is Arctic Circle. Similarly here 66.5 degree south is Antarctic Circle and 23.5 degree south is Tropic of Capricorn. So from 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north we have temperate zone in the northern hemisphere and 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south we have temperate zone in southern hemisphere. Again I am repeating that temperate zone is the zone which is neither very hot nor very cold. Why so? Because the sun rays are coming but not vertical, slanting sun rays are there. First thing. Second thing, it extends from 23 half degree north to 66 half degree north in the northern hemisphere, or you can say from Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle we have temperate zone. Similarly, we have from 23 half degree south to 66 half degree south, southern temperate zone, or you can say from Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle, temperate zone is here. So we have two temperate zones, one in the northern hemisphere from Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle, and other in the southern hemisphere from Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle. Third heat zone is the frigid zone. This is the very coldest zone. As the torrid is very hottest, frigid is the very coldest zone. Now why this is the coldest zone? Because this is near the poles, and at these points the sun rays are very much slanting. The direct sunlight is not there. These areas are receiving very less sunlight. That is why this is the very coldest zone. Now this is also in two parts, the northern frigid zone and the southern frigid zone. If we talk about the north side, then we have from 66 half degree north to 90 degree north, or you can say from Arctic Circle to North Pole. And if we talk about the southern hemisphere, then it is from 66 half degree north to 66 half degree south to 90 degree south, or you can say from Antarctic Circle to the South Pole. So we have three heat zones on the basis of insolation, or you can say on the basis of solar radiation, or in very simple terms, we can say that we have three heat zones on the basis of the amount of heat received by the earth from the sun. Torrid zone, the very hot zone, temperate zone, not so hot and not so cold zone, and frigid zone, the very coldest zone. I hope the zones are clear to you. Now we have the next topic, that is air pressure. Now what is air pressure? The pressure exerted by the weight of air on the earth's surface. The pressure exerted by the weight of air. Each and everything which has mass has weight also. Similarly, air also has some weight. So the weight of the air which is exerted by it on the surface of the earth is known as pressure of the air, or you can say air pressure. Now it depends on two factors. First one is temperature and second one is altitude. First of all, we will talk about the temperature. If we talk about temperature, then temperature and the air pressure has negative relation. If temperature increases, then the pressure decreases. How? If the temperature increases, it means the earth's surface will become hot, and because of that, the air near the earth's surface will become hot. Now the air is hot, the hot air will expand and it will rise up. You all know that air rises up when it becomes hot. So because of increase in temperature, because of increase in heat, the air becomes lighter and rises up. When the air rises up, the low pressure area is created. So when the temperature increases, the pressure will be low. Again I am repeating, air pressure has negative relation with the temperature. When the temperature rises, the air becomes hot. And when the air becomes hot, it expands and it rises. When the air rises up in the lower surface, the low pressure will be created. So, when the temperature is more, low pressure is created. It means more temperature, less pressure, and less temperature, more pressure. So, this is the first factor. Second factor we have altitude. Altitude means height above the sea level. This has a positive relation with pressure. When altitude increases, temperature increases. This you all know. When we go at a height from the sea level, then the temperature will start decreasing. So when altitude increases, temperature decreases. And when temperature decreases, the air pressure will increase. So altitude has the positive relation with air pressure. So what is air pressure? The pressure exerted by the weight of the air on the earth's surface, which has two factors. One, temperature, which is negatively related with air pressure. Temperature increases, air pressure decreases. And second one is altitude, which is positively related with the air pressure. When the altitude increases, air pressure also increases. Now there is a question for you. When the air exerts pressure, why don't we feel it? अगर हमारे ऊपर pressure है तो we feel it ना. When the air exerts some pressure, why do we not feel it? This is because air exerts pressure from all sides. Suppose this is you. Now air is exerting pressure from this side, as well as from this side. Equal pressure is exerted by the air on us from all the sides, and second thing is we also exert some pressure. Air is exerting pressure in this way, we are exerting pressure in this way. So one, it is the pressure is exerted from all the sides, and second, we are also exerting the pressure on the air as a counterpart, so we do not feel any pressure. So this was about the air pressure. So today we studied three things. One, weather and climate. Second, we studied about the heat zones, and the third, we studied air pressure. I hope all the three topics are clear to you.